Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today and this week is celebrated as Animal Welfare Week, which is commemorated from October 3rd to October 9th, which is commemorated internationally, is a campaign and support to campaign for and support animal rights. It focuses on promoting the human treatment of all kinds of animals, including pets, farm animals, wildlife, and even those used for medical research and testing. Animal Welfare Week is observed to educate the masses on the cruel treatments of animals and to advocate for their rights It's a week for spreading the message of kindness, justice, and protection for all living creatures. Humans and animals have had a strong relationship since prehistoric times. Some scientists believe that they had common ancestors millions of years ago, and there is an evidence of skeletons in Africa that have both human and animal characters. The majority of earliest known paintings are of animals. The prehistoric drawings in Chauvet caves of southern France are 29,700 to 32,400 years old, which makes them the oldest known art in the world. Many drawings in the caves are of rhinoceros, lions, buffaloes, mammoths, and even horses. Scientists believe that humans might have been in the awe of these animals and decided to paint them. It was in 13,000 to 2,500 BC that humans started to domesticate animals. They domesticated dogs, cats, cattle, goats, horses, and sheep. Dogs were the first to be domesticated in 13,000 to 10,000 BC from its wolf-like ancestor, Canis lupus. Evidence of cats near human settlements date back to 8,000 BC, but it is not clear whether they were domesticated or whether wild cats were encouraged to live near humans. Cats were an important part of agriculture societies. Egyptians are believed to be the first to domesticate them. They most likely raised kittens to protect their grains from rats. Over the years, this relationship with animals has only grown stronger, and today humans fight for their rights. So in 1641, the first major law against animal cruelty, Mashett's Bay Colony, enacts a body of liberties which sets up the fundamental rights of the colonists and includes the law which makes killing a farm animal without the owner's consent a capital crime. In 1822, first anti-cruelty bill, Richard Martin, a member of the British Parliament, sponsors a bill that prohibits cruelty to cattle, horses, and sheep. In 1828, first law against animal cruelty. The first law against animal cruelty successfully passed in New York. Early 1950s, new organizations for animal welfare. The early 1950s sees a rise in organizations for animal welfare resulting from the excessive cruelty against animals due to modernization and scientific research. So Animal Welfare Day is celebrated every year on October 4th, that is tomorrow, but this entire week from today onwards is commemorated as Animal Welfare Week. But tomorrow it is exclusively commemorated as Animal Welfare Day to raise awareness about animal rights. It falls on the feast of for Francis of Assisi, who is patron saint of animals in Christianity. In similar way, even in other religions, animals are given utmost respect and care and divinity imbibed for them. As we have seen many times, we spoke about Sanatana Dharma, where it says all the species belong to one family, including animals, plants, human beings. So that's why we see, especially in Hindu culture, Hindus worship everything and anything on the planet. Why? Because everyone has equal rights, everyone has equal opportunities to survive and thrive. So we need to respect each other. That's why, it's not that plants, they are plants or animals and you don't respect it, or you don't, allow them to have or to enjoy their rights. It's not correct. Every species that is born on the planet, that thrives on the planet, has equal rights and opportunities. So they should get their equal share. So that is a kind of culture, that is a kind of, tradition that Sanatana Dharma promoted. And that's why we, especially Hindus, they worship all these plants, rivers, mountains, because without them, we cannot survive. Today, we are seeing how, pandemics, endemics, all these are causing disasters. And most of these pandemics are caused by zoonotic diseases. That is, the disease which has been transmitted from the wild animals to human beings. Why? Because we are encroaching into the wildlife and we are consuming, we are killing them, we are eating them. And what will happen? Definitely, whatever they are infected with or they are naturally bestowed with or endowed with, which are not good for human beings, because every species has their own requirements, set of microorganisms, bacteria, which are useful for them. But by consuming them, what we are inviting, these diseases, bacteria, viruses, which are beneficial for them, but which can be harmful for them. So similarly, all these pandemics, including latest COVID-19, COVID virus, is also the kind of zoonotic diseases which has spread from wild bats and wild animals to human beings. And we have seen what has happened. It could have been completely preventable, 100% preventable. If we couldn't have gone and, encroached into the wildlife and have consumed those people who have consumed and contributed to spreading of COVID across the world, if they couldn't have done, then this couldn't have happened. Now see how that act, for that act, entire world has paid for it. Similarly, the climate change. Very few people are doing the act or committing the act, but the entire world is paying for it. Climate change. Everyone on the planet, including animals, plants, including aquatic animals, human beings, everyone is paying for the climate change. But who are the ones? Especially the developed ones are the ones who are contributing immensely to the climate change, especially China, US, and all these huge production companies. They contribute releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, rapid production of various goods and services. So pollutants, lot of pollutants are left into the ocean. And these developed countries, because they have very strict laws, enforcements, and they throw away all this dust to the underdeveloped and developing countries, which are used as dumping yards, or, their countries in their nations are used as dumping yards. We have seen many times, across the world, without, though in spite of a lot of environmental laws are there, treaties are there, including this Rio conference, which, prohibits the hazardous chemicals and pollutants to be dumped into any country. The country has complete freedom to allow or ban certain chemicals. But illegally, a lot of things are happening. So these all are creating disasters, health hazards. So that's why, animals are companions, not the food. We should see animals as a fellow species, fellow living beings, but not as, food, or at least not as something to be eaten. Today, unfortunately, people, especially children, forget about adults. Adults anyway, they are already into it, eating all sorts of whatever crawls, whatever swims, whatever flies. It is unfortunate that if a man has the sight of that, he he started eating everything, human beings, including men and women. But, we are also governed by the universal natural laws. And not everything is to be consumed by everyone, because there is a food cycle. There is a food cycle which maintains the ecosystem, which maintains the biodiversity. There is predators which are dependent on other species. If one species which is breaking cycle and consuming the other species, then what the other predator which was supposed to be fed on that cycle, they will be facing the shortage of food. Now, how they will survive? Their food cycle should not get disturbed. If their food cycle breaks, then what they will do? They will struggle and they will try to prey on other species. Then what will happen? Again, that species, that predator, food circle will get again disturbed. Food cycle will get disturbed. So similarly, what present things are happening is all these food cycles are getting disturbed because they are not getting proper food. The food cycle is disturbed because lack of a lot of this ocean pollution. Aquatic animals are dying, coral reefs are dying, which these aquatic animals are not able to get food. So what they will do? So all these issues are there. See, on the planet, every species has its own purpose. There is nothing that is waste on this planet. Every plant, every human being, every animal, every rock or every particle on the planet has a purpose by which it exists on the planet. It is serving some or other species, directly or indirectly, through edible or non-edible source. And it is serving some purpose. But if we are disturbing that ecosystem, it is creating a disaster because there is a gap in that natural cycles. And there is nothing to fill that gap because none of the species can replace other species. That's why they exist for a purpose. So that's the case of these zoonotic diseases, and that affects the climate change and biodiversity destruction. Okay, and similar commemoration Animal Day, first Animal Day took place on March 25, 1925 in Berlin, Germany. So do some research to find out whether products you use harm animals in any way. Do they test on animals in manufacturing of products? You see, most of the cosmetics today are tested on animals. So whenever we are buying these perfume, scents, deodorants, lipstick or foundation, whatever, all this makeup and cosmetics, all are tested on animals. Then only, the clinical first preliminary stage of approvals come only after all the clinical trials on animals have been completed and certified by the appropriate authorities. So how many animals are reared in the labs and killed, and also they are taken from captivity and also wild from outside, and they are killed, tortured for the experiments, and even after experiments, they are left on their own fate or they have been killed. So all these things are happening. So indirectly, by promoting, by creating a demand, we are indirectly are responsible for their suffering, for their pain, and for their death. So avoid products that harm animals, avoid products that are created or that are made from animals or animal products like skin or any such. Avoid these products as much as possible to protect those innocent animals and birds. Donate to any animal welfare NGO and even volunteer when you can time and money can save many animals' lives. And read up animal issues and spread the word, and major industries that harm animals and the ways you can protest their actions. Dogs can sense time. Dogs can't tell time, but they have their own perception of it and can remember past events. They can imagine, they can memorize, they can have the memory, perception of time. They might not know that, it is 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, but it can associate. When you are teaching them, when you are training them, it's 5 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, because they have their own perception of time and space. So they can associate and they can reciprocate, they can reflect. So dogs can sense time, but can't tell time. But they can sense and they can remember the time. Cat whiskers contain a sensory organ called the proprioceptor, which helps the cats communicate information about their surroundings to their nervous system. Dogs have unique nose prints, like we have unique fingerprints. Every dog has a very unique nose print. No other dog in the world will have the same nose print of any other dog in the world. So that unique is the nose print. So dogs have unique nose prints, like we have our fingerprints. And looking into the eyes is a means for dogs to show love and affection. So a staring dog is a loving dog, but at the same time, a great caution: don't stare into the eyes of a dog when that is a strange dog. This works only when it is your pet dog or when you are more familiar, used to the dog. But if you stare at a stare dog, then it will bite you, because that is a kind of provoking the dog, because you are not acquainted with the dog. So this staring at a dog can help you if you have already contact and if it is already acquainted with you. But don't stare at strange dogs, or especially when dogs are excited or when they are, aggressive outside, street dogs or anything, unless and until they are used to it. It can bite you or it can chase you. And every year, Americans adopt over 3.2 million shelter animals on this day, but the other side is many, even more animals are abandoned. But we will try talking more positive things, because today we are commemorating animals welfare week. And millions of people are still ignorant about the mistreatment of animals worldwide. It is a great day to spread information and unite the masses. All animals deserve love and affection. This is a day to celebrate, and our companions have lived with for centuries. Without animals, the ecosystem would collapse. That's what we are talking. Plants, animals, microorganisms, bacteria, all these are, we all are interdependent on each other. Without rats, what will happen? Rats are also serving purpose, because rats are food for snakes and other species. What if snake doesn't get food by consuming rats? Their food cycle also gets interrupted. Now, what snakes are doing? They are also serving. They are helping in eating the rats, thus saving the crops and helping the farmers so that they get more yield, and we also get more production at a lesser price, quality production at a lesser price. This is just one example, because we cannot talk about that. whole session. So every species on the planet has its purpose. So we cannot, once we mess up it without animal or without particular species, when a species is becoming extinct, that is a permanent damage to the ecosystem and biodiversity is caused. That gap is never filled. There will be always that gap. Because of that, there will be always some sort of problem. So an ecosystem, if that extinction becomes more, so there will be huge gap and the ecosystems will collapse. A collapsed ecosystem will spell the end of mankind, as we know. That's why why we are talking about, human beings also will become extinct in coming, 50 or 100 years, because many species are becoming extinct. Most of the species are already have become extinct, and many are being endangered. That is, every day a species is becoming extinct, which we know. And there are many species which we do not know, and they might have already become extinct or endangered. We don't know because we have no idea of those species, so there is no count of it, and we don't know whether they exist or whether they doesn't exist anymore. And that gap is always there on the ecosystem, on the food chains. Now, how we are going to fill the gap? So that's why we need to take care of all animals, irrespective. Every animal species has a purpose on this planet, contributing to the food chain, contributing to the food cycle, contributing to the planet in a certain way. So let's, on this week, Animal Welfare Week, let's all contribute in creating awareness on this week. Today is also commemorated from today onwards till October 7th, Back Care Awareness Week in UK. So this year, it is celebrated October 3rd to 7th and is organized in an attempt to raise awareness about back issues as well as how to manage back pain. So are you laying in bed with your head on the pillow, browsing mindlessly on your phone? Or what device you are reading or watching this? Are you hunched over your computer, laptop, tablet, or barely mobile, or barely a few inches from screen? Did you say yes to either of these questions? Did you make any adjustments to your posture while reading or watching? If you did, then your back care awareness is for you. So you can check out more information and do research. Back pain has existed since the beginning of time. Almost all of us go through it some point of our lives. It can range from a mild annoyance to a debilitating condition. This is why it's extremely important to address how we can better manage this pain and discomfort to lead a better quality of life. Back Care Awareness Week was established by a British charity called Back Care, which provides information and education in an attempt to prevent unnecessary back pain from happening in the first place. So prevention is always better than cure. However, the organization realizes that prevention is not always possible. So it also aims to help those with back problems heal or at least manage their discomfort. Back Care also aims to provide practical as well as emotional support to people living with back pain, whether it's due to wear and tear, injury, musculoskeletal disorders such as scoliosis, arthritis, spina bifida, and other serious underlying health conditions like multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, or cancer. Back Care was founded by a businessman and a philanthropist called Stanley Grundy, who created the charity as a dedication to those living with back pain, regardless of the cause. He also wanted to educate the public on the ways of preventing back pain. Although everyone can benefit from learning how to manage, the week primarily focused on raising awareness in adults aged 60 years and above, as many people suffer age-related lower back pain owing to various physical and psychosocial changes. The earliest surviving surgical text in the incomplete Edwin Smith Papyrus, which ends in the middle of description of an acute back sprain, which is the oldest surgical test in the West. So in India, we know India has given the world many things, many knowledge systems. Most of the sciences have emerged from India because India has the oldest civilization, and our Vedas have given birth to a lot of sciences. So we have Sushruta Samhita, which gives detailed account of medicine, surgeries, and everything, more than 5,000 years ago. And if you take 1300 BC, which is much more recent comparatively to 1500, according to the researchers, King Tutankhamun suffers from painful back pain and had a curved spine. So causes for back pain are explored. For the first time, a physician for Glasgow Royal Infirmary publishes a study claiming that back discomfort cloud be caused by the vertebral column and nerve system in 1828. Back Care is born. Businessman and philanthropist Stanley Grundy establishes organization Back Care in 1968. It may be serious if there is a sudden spike in pain or numbness, loss of bladder function, high fever, severe stomach pain, sudden weight loss, or if you have received a blow on your back. You might need to visit emergency room. In that situation, if your back pain is serious. The most causes of back pain is strains and sprains are most causes. You end up in injuring muscles, tendons, or ligaments by lifting something too heavy or not lifting it safely. Sometimes people can strain their backs by sneezing, coughing, twisting, or bending over. Now, how you can fix your back pain? You can do this by exercising, quitting smoking, quitting drinking, sitting upright, moving around more, rubbing medicated creams, trying out over-the-counter medicines, and maintaining a healthy weight. Today, topically, applying ice or heat at the area can also bring a surprising level of pain relief for most types of lower back pain. But remember that each treatment is different and works better and specific situations. So improve your posture, sit up straight and improve your posture. Fixing the way you sit and walk are simple things that can have dramatic effects on your back pain. Also consider incorporating some lifestyle changes like getting a better chair and desk, or even getting a desk where you can stand and work. Get into weightlifting and exercising, as these can have huge impacts on getting rid of back and neck pain. Some exercises can strengthen your neck and back muscles to help elevate the pain. So visit a doctor to get checked for any underlying medical issues that may be causing the pain. In some cases, making regular appointments with a chiropractor or a physiotherapist or a massage therapist may be also prove helpful. So smoking decreases the blood flow and bone strength that your spine needs to stay strong. Smoking damages your spine, so stay away from it. Given how tall giraffes are, this may come as a surprise, but both species have 7 neck vertebrae. So giraffes and humans both have 7 neck vertebrae. In fact, the evolution of giraffes also had short neck, but over gradual period of time, they were facing difficulty in reaching out for their food because trees were taller and they could consume whatever they had consumed, and they had difficulty in feeding themselves. So slowly they, over a period of time, over years, they started stretching their neck, and that exercise, that became an exercise, but it is their survival for the livelihood, for the food. And gradually, as the species evolved, generations over generations, the giraffe, now the present neck, the giraffe neck is so long. Even now also maybe it continues, if it still continues to. You may be taller in the morning than you were when you went to bed at night due to gravity. So that is due to gravity. You may feel so. Astronauts are taller when they return to Earth from space due to lack of gravity there. People get taller in space. And around 80% of all Americans will have back pain at some point of time in their lives. It's extremely common. And we all are going to experience back pain at some point in our lives. What worse is that because of all our increasing sedentary lifestyles, people are dealing with it at a much younger age than before. So Back Care Awareness Week creates awareness and provides information on how we can deal with our back pain. It encourages people to learn more dealing with and overcoming back issues. Learning more about your back pain may encourage you to visit a doctor. Although most people get some degree of back pain, chronic and debilitating pain may be a sign of deeper underlying medical issue. Today is also commemorated as National Fruit at Work Day in US, which is a day set aside to encourage people to cut down their coffee and junk food consumption and embrace a healthier work lifestyle. Can you believe that the National Fruit at Work Day has been a thing for more than 21 years? Yes, it has been around for a while now. The day celebrates every fruit that has given us its delicious juiciness and boost in work performance. In fact, National Fruit at Work Day falls within the time when many fruits known to boost productivity come into season. That includes berries, bananas, and apples. The history of National Fruit at Work Day began during the dot-com era when the founder of the Fruit Guys discovered the unhealthy eating behavior among employees in the San Francisco area. People were too occupied to get healthy meals, so they settled for coffee and junk food. And that led him to establish the Fruit Guys in 1998, which delivers fruits to the people at their work across the United States. In 2000, the Fruit Guys announced National Fruit at Work Day as a day to celebrate the importance of health snacking in the workplace and honor the food that successfully fuels a busy day. Every National Fruit at Work Day, the Fruit Guys offer interested companies in the US a complimentary mini crate of fruit for their offices. The Fruit Guys, which created National Fruit at Work Day, is founded by Chris Mettelstadt at San Francisco in 1998. The Fruit Guys launched National Fruit at Work Day for the first time in 2000. And that's how the National Fruit at Work Day is born. To commemorate National Fruit at Work Day, the Fruit Guys provide interesting companies in the US a complimentary mini crate of food for their offices since in 2015. So 2019 is the last time the Fruit Guys launched National Fruit at Work Day. It continues every year. It's not that it has stopped. That is, last was 2020. So how can you make fruit smoothies? You need one peeled and sliced banana, a cup of milk, 2 cups of your favorite berry fruit, half a cup of vanilla yogurt, half a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice, and 2 tablespoons of honey for taste. Put all these together into a blender and blend them until it's smooth. Your first smoothie is ready to be served. Fruits are rich in vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, fiber, antioxidants are known to contribute to the improved work performance. That includes olives, berries, and avocados. So there is a famous saying, daily an apple or an apple a day keep the doctor away. Is it true? That is true and also not true. Because research has shown that apples alone are not enough to maintain your overall health. So it's not completely true. But when eaten as part of balanced diet, it can offer health benefits that may indeed lead to fewer doctor appointments. So here, it's not that you eat only apple every day, all the days, and you will be fit and fine. It doesn't mean that. It means that in a balanced diet, if you also have apple, then it will keep you healthy and away from doctor. So if you consider yourself to be creative, the Fruit Guys organize a drama photo contest where individuals can enter submitting a photo of their fruit diorama. The winner gets the fresh fruit for the whole month. If you are interested, keep tabs on National Fruit at Work Day for this year's contest and start working on your fruit diorama idea. And it offers a unique opportunity to be your favorite fruit. If your workplace has relaxed dress codes and you can celebrate the day of fruitiness by dressing up as a favorite fruit to work. If not, you can host an after-work fruit costume hangout. So you can celebrate National Fruit at Work Day by raising awareness about the healthy snack at work and asking your employer to improve office nutrition. You can also share fresh fruits with your colleagues during lunch. Apples are more effective than caffeine. An apple contains a high amount of natural sugar that can provide you with sufficient energy all day. So contrary to popular belief, pumpkins, cucumbers, and avocados are fruits, not vegetables. Research has shown that natural purple and blue fruits like blueberries and Concord grapes help reverse memory loss and improve motor skills. Pineapples are not a variety of apples, but a collection of fused berries. Pineapples are berries. Mangoes topped Pineapples are not variety of apples, but a collection of fused berries. And mangoes top people's favorite like apples and bananas as the most commonly eaten fruit in the world. According to research, eating vegetables and fruits throughout the day will help you maintain constant energy levels and moods and increase your focus and memory. These include fruits such as blueberries, strawberries, avocado, and eggplants. And we are what we eat. When making snacking decisions during working hours, most of us tend to go for burgers, French fries, or soda for the quick energy boost. But foods only provide a short period of high energy, followed by a big slump that leaves to maintain the energy and health needed for your work performance. Talk upon fruits and less on junk food. Fruits are a crucial element of a balanced diet and they contain the right amount of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and plant. Fruits are a crucial element for a balanced diet. They contain the right amount of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and plant chemicals needed to safeguard you against the leading causes of death, heart disease, cancer, and high blood pressure. Today is also commemorated as National Techies Day in US. It is a celebration to bring to the light the many opportunities youngsters can take advantage in the technology industry. If the 21st century can be defined under one roof, one banner, then it is the technological banner. We haven't even reached the quarter century mark. And already we have gone from bulky to heavy and computers to sleek and light laptops. There are printers that can print 3D materials, some of which have been already used to create sustainable and environmental friendly buildings and items. In the coming years, experts have already predicted that there will be Today is also commemorated as National Techies Day in US. To take the advantage of technology industry and defined under one banner, that is technological banner. The National Techies Day was created by CNT Networks, Computer Networking Technology, and Techies.com in 1999. The former is a company specializing in storage networking solutions, while the latter used to be a job for website focusing on connecting aspiring candidates with the right job postings in the technological industry. The main purpose of inventing the day was to raise awareness about the various technological careers youngsters could choose from. The industry has grown tremendously in the last 100 years, but if we were to go back, right, the main purpose of inventing the day was to raise awareness about the various technological careers youngsters could choose from. The industry has grown tremendously in the last 100 years, but if we were to go back right to the start of human civilization, we'll truly come to realize how far the human species has come. Technology comes from the Greek words, techne meaning arts, craft, and logos meaning words. In the beginning, the word technology was used to refer to a discourse on applied the 20th century, that the technology was being used to refer to a number of applied science projects related to concepts and process. Human beings started science using science and the sources available to them were more than 3 million years ago, albeit with simpler technologies. Items like knives, clubs, and fire gradually, miscellaneous things like efficient water sewerage systems, cars, train, ships, etc., cooking stoves, and thus, like standard, started becoming more and more commonplace all around the world. Anthropologists and sociologists also take into account such technological process as a way to measure them. Human civilization, Gerhard Lensky, an American sociologist, states that a good way to bound social societal advancement is how information travels through in terms of technology and brings back to the National Techies Day. If we want our society to go in a positive direction, then we must encourage the young people around us to get into an arena that will not only bring them closer to success, but it will also be a way of bringing the rest of the world up to the speed. One of the greatest worries of the technological world relates to upskilling. Because technology, especially the IT arena, is constantly being upgraded, it can get hard to stay on the top of things at times. Take this day an opportunity to appreciate all the hard work techies do daily just to ensure that our days go smoothly. Fonts come in all shapes and sizes, literally, and is theorized that the amount of ink used by the printer will be different for different fonts due to an individual font size, embellishments, and design. QWERTY to slow down. During the period of typewriters, the designers came up with the QWERTY design by placing commonly used letters apart from each other in order to slow down typers whose fast typing could make the buttons get stuck. Computers are not as powerful as the human brain. Computers are fast and powerful, but they cannot compete with the human brain, as that would mean a computer doing 38,000 million operations per second and holding some 3,580 terabytes of memory. Google comes from unlimited information. The name Google comes from the name for the cardinal number of Google, which is essentially just 1 followed by 100 zeros, signifying unlimited information. The 3D printing is not as new as you think. In fact, it was invented in 1980s and was known as rapid prototyping. Today, it's hard to imagine a world without technology, and the way we shop, work, travel, eat, think, and socialize is all connected with technology in some way or other. This is also a reason why we should celebrate techies and the dedication they put into their fields. Without these two factors, our lives would turn chaotic. It's a celebration of youngsters. The youngsters are future. It is important that we guide them to the right paths in order for them to reap the benefits. In the next decade or so, the technology space will continue to grow and grow, creating more and more jobs, many of which we cannot even comprehend at this stage. This is why it is important to prepare the young from an early age. Many sociologists believe that the technological advancements are evidence of societal advancements by default. The information that is being passed from point A to B is necessary for growth and betterment. By passing information around the world, we will be able to get newer perspectives sooner, solve a problem sooner, and enjoy the benefits sooner. Today is also commemorated as National Unity Day in Germany to commemorate the unification of the Federal Republic of Germany and the German Democratic Republic. into a single federal Germany on the same date in 1990. A public holiday, the day is characterized by concerts, communal meals, speeches by politicians, and fireworks. After World War II, Germany was divided into 4 military sectors, each controlled by France, United States, UK, and Soviet Union. In 1949, the Federal Republic of Germany was formed. On October 7th of the same year, the German Democratic Republic, also known as DDR, Deutsche Demokratische Republic, was formed. The political tensions in the post-war Europe did not allow much interaction between the people of two countries. The DDR exercised strong resistance against repression of its political opponents. Thousands of people were kept under surveillance by the German police. On September 4, 1989, a peaceful protest was carried out by the people of Leipzig against the DDR government. Most such demonstrations in other DDR cities took place, calling for political reforms and the opening of the borders. And on November 9th that year, the checkpoints between the two German countries were opened and people could travel freely once more. This date marked the fall of the Berlin Wall. Democratic elections further paved the way for the people to come together in the DR. Finally, in August 1990, the leaders of both countries signed the Treaty of Unification, and Germany's unification was made official on October 3rd, 1990. The Berlin Wall and the Brandenburg Gate are two very important symbols of Germany's division and the unification of Germany in 1990. Images of both of these are put on display on German Unity Day all across Germany. The day is celebrated as a 3-day festival around the Brandenburg Gate and at the Reichstag around Platz der Republik. Celebrate local culture with all the locals, experience neighborhoods while taking the stroll through the streets. And there are many famous documentaries. So you can watch them, like on Germany and the Berlin Wall. Some of the themes include busting the Berlin Wall, Stasi, East Germany's secret police, after the wall, a world united, rise and fall of the Berlin Wall, and many more. A famous feature of German Unity Day is the observance of the day in one of the 16 state capitals every year, which hosts the celebrations. The 27-mile barrier separating Berlin into east and west has two concrete walls that has 160 yards wide depth stripped in between with watchtowers, guard dogs, floodlights, machine guns, and more. More than 100 people died while trying to cross the Berlin Wall by gunshots, fatal accidents, or suicide. So it's a death on the wall. The Great Escape, more than 5,000 people escaped by either going over or under the Berlin Wall. A piece of Berlin Wall is now in the bathroom of Main Street Station, Casino in Las Vegas. The Berlin Wall cycle route has a glass plaque honoring Ida Seigman, who was the first person to die while trying to cross the wall and flee to East Berlin. The day also marks the dissolution of the German territory controlled by the Soviet Union and the day it joined the Federal Republic of Germany. Today is also commemorated as National Wide Awakes Day in US. Celebrates Wide Awakes, a youth organization and a later paramilitary organization fostered by the Republican Party. Specifically, the Lincoln campaigned during the United States all-important presidential election in 1860. It was an open source network of people who believed in emancipation of all, abolition and workers' rights, despite adversity, false accusations, and several companies to bring them down. The group's revolutionary members continued to march. In early March 1860, Abraham Lincoln passionately spoke against the spread of slavery and the importance of workers' rights. By the middle of 1860 campaign, the members of Republican Party bragged that they had wide awake chapters in every country of all free northern states. By the time Lincoln was elected president, the whole Wide Awakes organization has grown to 5 lakh members, and the group had remained active for several decades. On October 3, 1860, the Wide Awakes, dressed in oilcloth cloaks and bearing lanterns, marched in massive torchlight parades in the name of emancipation around the country, including cities like Chicago, Boston, Cleveland, and Lower Manhattan. The group activities included popular social events, an aura of competitive fraternity, and even promotional comic books. It introduced many people, mostly the youth, to the political participation and hailed itself as a newfound voice of younger voters. Later, the structured militant Wide Awakes attracted the generation that the partition instability of 1850s has profoundly shaken. In addition, the group offered young North Americans a much needed political identity. Today is also commemorated as National Boyfriend Day in US, to let your boyfriend know how much he means to you, and reminds everyone with a boyfriend to take a special note on the special someone and how they make your life better. So this is a totally internet generated phenomenon. The first dated October 4, 2014, when the deal seems to traction by March 2016 with over 46,000 tweets. National Girlfriend's Day is also celebrated on August 1st. So this day was launched as a promotional tool for a book by Kathleen Lang and Elizabeth Butterfield, Girlfriend's Gateway, which was published in 2002. For those today is also commemorated as Mean Girls Day. Celebrating this jazzy day by initiating the best possible programs such as Try the Worn Out, Speak Fetch, Say Yes to Plastics. The cult classic is definitely worth a yearly day of remembrance. We welcome you on board that unleash madness and well into the faulty Mean Girls Day because of the immortal signs in which Arkan asks Caddy what day it is. She answers October 3rd, and thus October 3rd and will be always the now Mean Girls Day. So Mean Girls is a 2004 American comedy film directed by Mark Waters and written by Tina Fey. The film, which stars Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, and so on, based on Rosalind Wiseman's 2002 non-fiction self-help, Queen Bees and Wannabes, which describe female high social cliques and the damage effects they can have on girls. The film was gained cult recognition, popularity. The film has gained cult recognition and popularity across the wide sections over a period of time, becoming a pop culture phenomenon. Fans have made GIFs and memes of the film and posted on social media, including Facebook and Twitter. The popularity of the film has led to October 3rd being recognized as the Mean Girls Day every year. Due to his famous scene on October 3rd, he had asked me what day it was. Caddy recalls, it's October 3rd. She replies, too excited about the exchange to notice the topic would not have been more mundane. So fans celebrate Mean Girls Day every year by indulging in funky activities such as special fitness classes, wear pink dress code at events, and also generating new memes on this day. Today is also commemorated as the Iraq Independence Day, also known as National Iraqi Day, commemorates national independence from Britain in 1932. Being a public holiday in Iraq, all offices, organizations, post offices, and major markets are closed. The people of Iraq celebrate the joyous occasion with military and civilian parades, ceremonies marked with speeches from political leaders, and official celebrations in every city and town and village. The Iraqi flag, their symbol of identity, is proudly put on display. The Iraqi flag, their symbol of identity, is proudly put on display, waved in parades and hoisted on buildings. Fireworks show began on the evening of uh, national holiday. The history of modern Iraq began in 1831 when the Ottomans gained control of the territory, establishing it as a valuable outpost of their empire. The region was not known Iraq is a desert country. Only 12% of the Iraq's land is suitable for growing crops. The majority of the land is arid. Iraq is home to the world's earliest system of writing, cuneiform script invented by Sumerians and was first used around the 31st. Although there are other smaller groups within the country, the three major ethnic groups in Iraq are Arabs, Kurds, and Turkmen. There are two official languages in Iraq, namely Arabic and Kurdish. The economy of Iraq relies on oil, which accounts for more than 90% of the government's revenue. So with the ongoing conflict happening in the country, the people of Iraq have a lot of untold stories. This is just a chance for them to explore or share their experiences and talk about hardships they face. With this, we shall conclude today's commemorations. Thank everyone for joining us today on the commemorations. So we request everyone to register. If you have not yet registered, the registration link has been shared in chat box. And we also request you all to fill the overall feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls, which is mandatory for the certificate. Thank you everyone for joining us. So see you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.